Dobar dan svima, dobrodošli na panel diskusiju NIN Fokusa posvećenu reindustrializaciji Srbije. Moje ime je Petrica Đaković, ja sam novinar NIN-a i danas ću biti moderator. Pre nego što gospodin Mihael Erke, direktor kancelarije Fondacije Friedrich Ebert Stiftung u Beogradu, otvori ovu panel diskusiju, samo kratka napomena da učesnici diskusije imaju od 3 do 5 minuta za uvodna izlaganja, a onda ćemo da otvorimo dijalog u kome mogu da učestvuju i gosti panela. Gospodin Erke,
Thank you very much. I'd like to welcome you on behalf of the Ebert Foundation. Thank you for being here, for your interest. Thank you for NIN, who put in focus the one subject, which in my opinion is one of the most important economic challenges for Serbia. Reindustrialization. It's important because of the process of deindustrialization from the 90s until now. We all know the statistics. Even in the years when Serbia was the fastest growing economy in Europe, 2000-2006, it was growing without industry, without employment, and without exports. The share of tradable goods decreased in these years from 42 to 24%. Tradable goods which can be exported or have to compete with imports. We had some similar process, but in a totally different form in the United Kingdom, for example, and the United States. There are also a very strong process of deindustrialization from the 70s until now, but this process was wanted. The general argument was, well, in this globalized economy, industry will anyway go to China and other emerging countries. So we specialize on knowledge-intense goods and services. In my opinion, it did not work. In my opinion, the German pattern of having a strong and solid industrial base is better, but this is not a discussion because in Serbia the problem is different. It's not a wanted process of deindustrialization because of having a knowledge-intense economy. It's not wanted. It is a byproduct of wrong policies, for example, of a wrong exchange rate policy. But it's mainly a byproduct of privatizations, which did not protect, preserve, extend, and modernize productive capacities, but destroy them and destroy jobs. So the process of privatization in Serbia was not very successful. And the other policy was the policy of neglecting industry and waiting for foreign investors who did not come. And this, and when they came, they invested in non-tradable areas. They did not extend productive capacities. They did not create new jobs. There are some exceptions, of course, but the main bulk of foreign investors did not help to reindustrialize the Serbian economy. Here appears a word which is it's a taboo within the EU. It's an industrial policy. Industrial policy is seen as something wrong because the market shall decide. That's the general ideology. It's wrong for one reason because each big country has its industrial policy. Without industrial policy, France and Germany wouldn't have Airbus industries, for example. And now the German climate and energy policy is also industrial policy to create the most competitive sector of renewable energies in Germany. So every country has its policy, although it seems to be forbidden. And I think Serbia too should have some industrial policy. That means first have stock taking, what do we have, what can be used, what can be extended and improved, and then go into the international markets. There are some who think, and I heard the opinion last time several times, that the big advantage of Serbia could be agri-food, this sector. I think it can be, and I have some small examples where the combination of agro sector and industry had positive results. One personal experience is in my holidays in Germany. In a small town at the Baltic Sea, in a small supermarket, I found ayva made in Serbia. And And this is important, that Serbian products appear in the shelves of European supermarket chains. And I had a talk with the employer in Užice, who possessed berries, fruit, and won a contract with a Japanese company in Japan to produce some ingredients for yogurt and others. These are the real important things. This is more important than the date of negotiations with the EU. The real integration of Serbia into the world economy is at this level, and I think this is the discussion here is wrongly fixed on the next date with the EU, next step. But the reality is companies who produce, industrial companies who produce and who export and go into the international marketing and production chains. Well, that was what I have to say. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. Pre nego što kažem ko učestvuje na današnjem NIN fokusu, želim samo da zamolim učesnike da govore malo sporije zbog prevoda. Danas u diskusiji o reindustrializaciji Srbije učestvuju gospodin Zoran Martinović, državni sekretar za rad u Ministarstvu rada, zapošljavanja i socijalne politike, gospodin Dragan Matić, predsednik Industrijskog sindikata Srbije, gospodin Zoran Vujović, predsednik Samostalnog sindikata metalaca Srbije, gospodin Miodrag Kostić, predsednik Udruženja poslodavac i vlasnik MK grupe, gospodin Petar Petrović, profesor Mašinskog fakulteta Univerziteta u Beogradu i dopisni član Akademije inženjerskih nauka Srbije, gospodin Ljubodrag Savić, redovni profesor Ekonomskog fakulteta Univerziteta u Beogradu, gospodin Dragovan Milićević, ekonomista i gospodin Branislav Zec, ekonomista. Gospodine Martinoviću.
Hvala vam, ja ću pokušati da govorim sporije, ali da nekako prilagodim ovom terminu od 5 minuta. Dakle, ja ću prosto ovu temu sagledati sa aspekta onog sektora koji ja predstavljam i pokušat ću da nađem vezu između procesa reindustrializacije i onoga što se odnosi na sektor rada i zapošljavanja. Kao neke uvodne napomene reći ću samo da je industrija Srbije posle 90. godina velikim delom devastirana i naravno da je to dovelo do zastoja u tehnološkom razvoju, do gubljenja tadašnjih tržišta i svakako do smanjivanja broja zaposlenih u ovoj oblasti. Nezavršena privatizacija i restrukturiranje preostalih velikih društvenih preduzeća, prerađivačke industrije, velikih javnih preduzeća i infrastrukturnih delatnosti, nedovoljno efikasan proces privatizacije, nedovoljno efikasan proces likvidacije ili stečaja i nedovoljno posticanje post-privatizacionog restrukturiranja ključne su ograničenja za stvaranje nove, efikasnije privredne strukture. Dakle, privatizacija nije u dovoljnoj meri doprinela podizanju efikasnosti poslovanja privrede, samim tim i novom zapošljavanju. Nova radna mesta otvarana su uglavnom u sektorima čiji proizvodi nisu namenjeni izvozu, najvećim delom u oblasti finansijskog posredovanja, trgovine i usluga. U narednom periodu targetirani sektori reindustrializacije moraju biti srednje i visokotehnološke oblasti industrijske proizvodnje i to pre svega hemijska industrija, proizvodnja mašina i uređaja, proizvodnja saobraćajnih sredstava i elektronska industrija. Ovoj grupi svakako treba pridodati i prehrambenu industriju, obzirom da se ova oblast prema dosadašnjim rezultatima pokazala kao relevantna za ekspanziju u narednom periodu. Višegodišnje tendencije opadanja broja zaposlenih u ukupnoj privredi prisutne su u svim sektorima industrije. Veliki pad zaposlenih u industriji rezultat je procesa svojinske transformacije, restrukturiranja preduzeća, odnosno oslobađanja privatizovanih firmi od ranijeg viška zaposlenih i krize u 2009. godini.